Okay, I think we have it. I think it's recording. Yes. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Suzette Gallian. I am a public adjuster with Metro Public Adjustment, one of the biggest companies of public adjusting in the United States. It was founded in 1993 and it was founded by a veteran. So we're very proud of what we do. And today I have a special person with us. She is a very great friend, a good friend of mine, and a colleague. And she's going to go over what attracted her to become a public adjuster. We're going to go over what a public adjuster is and many, many aspects about our industry. And the reason why we do this is because a lot of people doesn't know what we do. And unfortunately, a lot of times when we go see them, they tell us, "Oh, I wish I would have known about you a year ago, 2 years ago." And it's sad some of the stories that we also hear, right, Pam? And we sometimes we can help them and we do the best we can to help them, but sometimes we can't. And what we're trying to bring is awareness to the public, awareness to the homeowners, as well as the business owners of what we do and how we can help them. So please help me welcome my friend Pam. So Pam, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about you in your previous life.
Well, thank you for having me, Suzette.
Sure.
My name is Pam McCarthy, and I'm a senior claims rep with Metro Public Adjustment. My previous background is in healthcare, and I've been in healthcare for like 40 plus years in laboratory medicine and in healthcare administration. And my last job was managing an urgent care center, and I've since retired. So I started back in public adjusting about 5 years ago when I had lost my job due to a change in management.
Mm.
And a relative of mine was nice enough to introduce me to Metro, showed me the video. I looked at it. It sounded interesting. I then went to a meeting, a big annual meeting, convention, and was able to see firsthand what Metro does and how they help homeowners and business owners with damage to their property. And it gave me a great picture of the company and their mission. And it was really a no-brainer. From there, I started my training, and I'm still doing this 5 years later.
Awesome. Wow, that's fantastic. So before you actually heard about a public adjusting with your relative, did you ever heard about a public adjuster and what a public adjuster does?
I never heard of what a public adjuster, that they even existed. I didn't know that there was somebody who could help me with insurance claims. I had no idea. I also had never really looked at my homeowner's policy.
I know, isn't that something? Same thing with
Hmm.
me. So you were a homeowners then.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Did you have a claim? And when you started doing this business, or even before that?
Actually, before that, I had had a hail damage roof claim. And I found out after becoming a public adjuster, some of the things that were done um, were not legal,
Oh,
and that I was charged for deductible, which I shouldn't have been. Um, and so I learned a lot that I wished I had known when I had had the claim.
I know. Wow, that's amazing.
It
And
is.
tell me, what do you like the most about being a public adjuster?
Okay. It's interesting. So my background being in healthcare, I'd like obviously to help people. I've been doing it for 40 some years, more in a health regard setting. But this is also helping people, only completely different. Um, and so I get great satisfaction out of helping people get paid for damage to their claims. Sometimes we reopen claims because the insurance company has denied the claim and won't pay it, but we find out later as we investigate that yes, indeed, it is covered under their insurance. And they were given false information. So that's, I think, what really drives me is helping people.
Yes, and definitely helping people, helping homeowners. Usually they call their insurance company first when they have a claim, right? And
Correct.
why do we usually tell them when they have a claim what to do?
Yeah, it's interesting. We of course tell them call us first because we can handle every aspect of the claim for them. Um, and another thing is people call us at no charge. We will come out and decide whether it's a claim they should even file. Because if they file a claim with their insurance company and it was something that wouldn't be covered, then they've got a mark against them in some cases. So we keep them from filing unnecessary claims. We look at the whole picture and the damage in your policy and make sure that you're covered properly for what you're putting in for the insurance company.
Exactly. So when they have a claim, they call us first, they call you first,
Hmm.
and they tell you, hey, Pam, I have my toilet is leaking. I don't know what to do. My floor is all messed up. But what if they think that they can do the claim themselves?
Okay.
Because, you're
I
taking a fee and then, then
Right.
if I can do the claim myself, why would I need your services?
Well, on average, and we explain this to the homeowner, we get about 600% more than they would get doing it themselves. And there's been
600%.
documented studies that prove this. So they can try on their own, but the insurance company does want to keep their money in their pocket. So they're going to give you the lowest they can possibly give you and get away with it. Um, when we educate you, we will show you many instances where claims were denied. We may have gotten them anywhere from $10,000 to $150,000, $200,000 for their claim, depending on what it is. But the thing is, we did get you some money when your insurance company said it was denied. Other claims, they don't actually um, look at every aspect like we do. We detail the claim. We have very um, educated and licensed field adjusters that are analogous to the adjuster that would come to your house from the insurance company. And these guys are very well trained and they will detail every aspect of the claim, make sure you get the money that's due you under the provisions of your policy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
definitely good to use us,
It's
or at
definitely
least come
great.
to us first so we can advise you.
Mhm. Absolutely. So it costs them nothing, you said, to go to them for the first time
Nothing.
and
Because if you don't get paid, we don't get paid. So, but we want to educate people. We want you to know that we exist, that we can help you, that we're a licensed position with the state that we're in, and in this case, the state of Maryland. I often say to people, why would the states license public adjusters if they didn't feel they were needed? If the insurance companies paid everyone properly, according to their policy that they've been paying for years,
Mhm.
we wouldn't even have a job. But because they don't, the insurance commissions of the states realize that you need some representation, you need someone in your corner so that you, the insurance company has someone to deal with and not just you, someone who's knowledgeable about insurance policies and coverages and that sort of thing.
And that is a great point that you bring up, where you're right. We have to be licensed by the state. So if the state or the government or any state for that matter feels public adjusters are not needed, why would they give us licenses and allow us to advocate for the homeowner, right?
Yeah, it's a sad truth,
And there's a reason why we're here as well, right? If the,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, if the insurance company did what they're supposed to, then we wouldn't have a job.
We wouldn't have a job, right?
But how much work do we really have?
Oh my goodness. The biggest thing is we want people to know that we exist and we're out there to help them. And, just as we didn't have any clue what a public adjuster was, there are so many homeowners that don't. And we want to get out there and make sure everyone that we come in contact with is properly covered, has proper coverage for their home. I can give you an example of people who we've gone in and maybe they put an addition on their home. They're using their home for business use. They never looked at their policy for many, many years. And should they have something catastrophic happen, they may not be able to rebuild their house or take care of the part that's just been destroyed. They may have to come out of pocket with some of the money because they weren't covered properly. Also, insurance companies are constantly changing their policies. And as I was a homeowner, never looked at mine, I just sent it to the mortgage company so that they would pay it. You don't realize some higher deductibles that are coming out and little things that they're doing. The insurance companies have cut corners, and you may not even realize it unless your policy is reviewed on an annual basis. So we do that free of charge. We will review your homeowner policy for you every year if necessary.
How do you feel the insurance company feels about us? Like, how do they feel when they know that a customer has called a public adjuster to help them with their claim?
Well, they know they have to be on their toes because our adjusters are so well trained and in documenting the loss. Our adjusters will work with their adjusters to get the maximum for you. And this is nothing extra other than what you're owed because you've been paying your policy every month. We're not out to get more than that. We just want your fair pay that you should get for your damages. So
Yeah,
it's great to have Metro on your side, I would say.
absolutely. Absolutely. Can can we add up stuff that is not even part of the policy? Like I heard of somebody making a comment one time that public adjuster were able to add anything on the policy to get paid, just to get paid more. How true is
No,
that?
and no, that is not true. We are very ethical. We're a proper business. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. No, we don't cut corners and we don't add anything.
Right.
Just whatever damages you have, just making sure that they're itemized properly. That's it.
Right. So tell us a story about, like, a really good story that you thought, man, that's why I love this job. That you
I
were
think
able to help a client or something.
my favorite story happened during my training, actually. I went out, brand new trainee and with my trainer, and we went to a lady's house who had her sump pump fail. And she was a widow and she lived with her daughter. And she put in a claim with her insurance company, and they had sent multiple letters of how she was not covered for any of the basement that the water had come in or any of her personal property. They did pay for the sump pump to be repaired. And what had happened, there was an electrical storm, I think, and the sump pump failed. So we went in, got all her paperwork, and wrote a claim. And our field adjuster came back and looked at the policy even more closely and said, really, she is covered for her personal property and to fix and repair her basement because the water came in about 6 inches. And so all her books and furniture and flooring and everything, even up the wallboard, was destroyed. And we worked to get her that money back and forth with the insurance company. And finally, we got enough money for her to repair the basement and get some of her personal property replaced. And so to me, here she was, a widow, she was on a limited income, and they were going to take advantage of her and not pay her. So that was probably my most rewarding story, I would say. And she was so happy that we had gotten involved. And she had just heard about that I was doing this because I was talking to everybody. I was so excited when I started. I was in a, let's see, what do you call them? Physical therapy office, actually, getting physical therapy. And I was telling everyone what I was doing. And somebody overheard her talking about her plight and said, oh, there's a patient who comes in here that might be able to help you. and gave me her number, and I called her. So that's my
Awesome.
story.
Awesome. I'm sure do you think that she would have been able to handle that claim on her own?
No, they had pretty much shut her down with the letters that it absolutely was not covered under her policy. So
Oh, so
she would not have been able to. She had pretty much given up. At
so
some point.
she had contacted her insurance, and her insurance told her, sorry, but no sorry, you're not covered. And you were able to go in and reopen the claim.
Yes, and,
Got it.
and we can do
Awesome.
that up to a year.
Up to
So,
a year. Perfect.
and it
So
was under.
tell us, have you had any sad stories where somebody we weren't able to help for, maybe insurance
I
policy wasn't right, or
I personally have not, though I have heard cases where people weren't insured properly. Oh, actually, I have one where I had a trainee that we went out, and because we went to review his policy, he couldn't find his policy. So he called his insurance company to have it emailed so we could take a look at it. And they said, "Oh, you mean your car insurance policy?" And he said, "No, my homeowners." He said, "Well, that lapsed about a month ago." And he was devastated, of
oh,
course. And here he was sitting on this beautiful home with no insurance. So
oh,
had we not gone out to actually look at his house, his own policy,
mm-hmm.
because he was thinking about getting into the business, he would still be with no homeowner's policy. And if something
Wow.
did happen, he wouldn't have been covered. So that
Oh,
was sort of telling.
oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. We had a client, actually one of my training claims as well. He had water all over his house. It was raining, so the roof, there was no opening in the roof, but there was water coming inside the house, like it was raining inside as well, just as bad as outside. And when we looked at his policy was not, I think it was an HO1 or HO2, I can't remember, but it didn't cover water damage.
Oh my God.
So he was so mad because he thought he had the right type policy, because the insurance told him, well, this is what you need. You shouldn't need anything else. And we hear now that one of those commercials, I'm sure you've heard, the client will pay for what they need. Do they know what they need?
No, they don't know what how do you know what you need until it happens?
Exactly. Unfortunately, once it happens, can we still help them if something already happened and they weren't properly covered?
No, that's the sad thing. That's the saddest part of our business, when we can't help someone because they weren't covered properly.
Right. It is very sad when you have to tell somebody, I am so sorry, but there's nothing we can do because we don't sell them a policy, right? We don't sell them anything at all.
Mm.
We can only help them with what they have. And going back a little bit to what we were talking earlier about adding things to the claim, we can't, because we can only add to the claim what is related to that loss. So if the loss was about water, we can add anything related to fire to it, to that water, to that loss. And um I forgot the word I'm going to use. We're licensed and bonded by the state, but we're also under the lookout of the insurance, the banking and insurance department. I forget. Department of Banking and Insurance. There you go. That also protects the insurance company. They look at the insurance company, what they do. So we're also under that same umbrella, aren't we?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay. So Pam, what would you be doing if you weren't doing anything with Metro today?
Um, well, actually, the nice thing about Metro is that I can do other things, make my own schedule. And so what I've done now that I've retired about a year is I help my elderly parents out, and assist them so I can work their appointments and assisting them around doing the public adjusting. I can have appointments in the evening, during the day, whatever. It's so nice to be able to do that. just work around, and that way I'm able to help them in their later years here. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction to be able
That
to
is awesome. So you can work your schedule, both schedules, with your
roasted.
clients as well with the metro. That is fantastic. And you can still have some time for yourself and take care of your things and help. So you love helping people. That's why
Yep.
doing metro,
I do.
it's so filling, right?
Yes,
Absolutely.
it's great.
That's fantastic. I really like how we've been able to help so many clients because, like you said, a lot of times they don't even know if they're covered or not until we go to them and we tell them, listen, you have a high deductible. So now what are you going to do?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. But so let me ask you, do you know what do we tell how can we tell somebody if they're thinking, I don't know if they can help me or not? What do you think we can tell them? What kind of message can we tell our clients, our business owners? Oh, and now with COVID, I was going to ask you, were your business affected at all with COVID? I mean, is that something that you can still help somebody or?
Yes, we continue to help people. We, even when we were locked down completely, we are a necessary business. So should you have damage to your home, we can still go. We do use the CDC guidelines, and we can wear masks and gloves and keep our distance. But what we've also been doing is virtual claims, virtual recruiting, and we can do by phone, by Zoom, and walk around your house with, you can walk around with your phone and show us damage, take some pictures and send to us. We use DocuSign, and we can send the claim documents or hiring documents. So we've changed our business a little bit. So we have that ability, and it's working just fine. You know, it's amazing what you can do, and you don't have to be actually present, but people
Uh-huh.
can see you and talk with you. We can review their policies, whatever's needed, but we can do
Mhm.
it virtually.
That's amazing. The beauty of technology.
Yes, I love it.
I know. Was it hard to become a public adjuster? Like, what do you have to do to become a public adjuster?
Well, basically, you have to study and take your test with the state of Maryland, and there's lots of licensing centers, probably one close by. But we at Metro provide all your training. So we give you study materials, whether they're video or written materials. We help you in any aspect to do that. We do training every night of the week practically, so you can avail yourself to training at any time. And we are your recruiter, who would be me or Suzette or whoever. We can do personal training with you. We go out in the field with you, which is basically when we go into someone's house or do a virtual. We teach you how to give the education to the homeowner, how to read the insurance policy, how to do property inspections. And we're with you until you feel comfortable enough to go out on your own and you have your license. Our office assists you in getting your license once you've passed your test. So it's really great. You're an independent person setting your own schedule, and you have this lovely company behind you that has a mortgage department, a legal department, all the resources that you need to become successful as a public adjuster.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you mentioned a test, right? And how hard is the test?
Um, we say that you should study, I guess, a couple hours a day for a couple weeks. And there's two parts to the test. And it's broken down such that you can see what areas you need to concentrate your study on. Considering that I came from a healthcare background, I know nothing about insurance, contracting, anything. I did study every day for those couple weeks, looked at videos, made flashcards, whatever, and I passed it the first time. So you know, you can, if you put the effort in, it's not horribly hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
passable. If I can do it coming from a healthcare care background, I think anyone who puts their mind to it can do it.
That's what I tell everybody too. Me with the difference in language, I said,
Oh,
if I was
right.
able to pass it, definitely anybody can pass it. I know you have to study. We definitely have to study, and you, like you said, your sponsor and your trainee, your trainer can help you with the questions. We don't have the questions, right? But we can help you understand the material. And once you understand the material, you'll pass that test. I passed it in the first try as well,
Mhm.
and I was very nervous. I remember I was very nervous because I'm bad with testing in English because, as you know, that's not my first language. But after I took the test, it's like it's one of the few tests I find that you apply what you already know into that test. It's not that you have to take a test just to pass and get the certification and then learn something totally new, because it's two different things. Like, people that do hair and stuff, they have to just learn to pass a test, and then they have to do the practice part, which is basically doing it all from scratch. And it's like they don't know anything, even though they do have some hours experience and things. But I find that what we have to do, just get to know the material, and that is the same thing that we'll be using in the actual field,
Mhm.
which I love. I love the experience, like you mentioned earlier. Our field adjusters that work with us, they are very well trained. They have all these certifications. We have the science of adjusting, right? And that is wonderful when you go and adjust the claim for the clients. We show the clients, like you explained earlier, we go over the policy, right? We help
Mhm.
the client understand the policy,
Exactly.
because
Mhm.
if they don't understand it, then there's nothing we can do. But
Right.
all our clients really understand the policy, and the good thing is that they can still call us. Hey, did you tell me this? And they know it's for free, so they can call us as many times as they want
Very
to.
true.
So
Mhm.
Pam, where are you located? You want to leave your information for anybody that is in your area, want to contact you, please feel free.
Okay, so I'm really in the Southern Maryland area, and I do go all over the state of Maryland pretty much. So if you have damage to your house, I'd be more than willing to take a look at it to help you out if I can. And my phone number is 301-643-3993. Once again, I'm Pam McCarthy, and I'm a senior claims rep with Metro Public Adjustment.
Well, I
301
appreciate. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
643 3993. Thank you,
Awesome. Thank you.
Suzette.
Thank you so much, Pam, for doing this with us. Again, we're just trying to bring awareness to all our homeowners and the business owners that we're here to help. Just like you,
Yes,
I am licensed in Maryland. I'm also licensed in New Jersey, and I'm working on my license for Virginia and other states that I think we've seen so many people that needs our help, and that's why we're doing this, because people need to understand you need us. And we have so much work out there too that we're always recruiting. We're always telling our people who wants to help other people. You want to help somebody, this is a great way to go and help somebody, bring awareness to the community that we're here. I appreciate that you were here today. If anybody has any questions, any further questions that were not answered here, please, you can leave it in the comments, or you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Pam. And my number is 443-295-3577. I answer my own phone. Please give us a call. Let us sit down with you and show us how we can help you. Well, Pam, thanks again. And
bye. Thank you,
thank
Suzette.
you, everybody.